Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another Dragon Ball figure video, and we got a little bit of a different one for you this time. With the holiday season coming up, I figured that this video would be appropriate with the timing. Of course, we have the top 5 Dragon Ball figures to give as Christmas gifts under $40. Title pending, may be different in the actual YouTube title, but you get the gist of it. We're essentially going to go over 5 different figures, and there may actually be some multiple ones in each category that I think would make fantastic Christmas gifts. Now, I did take a bunch of stuff into consideration for this list. Obviously, we're looking at figures under the $40 mark, so affordable, right? I know $40 may be a little bit expensive, but when it comes to figures, right, there can be a lot more expensive figures than that, let me tell you. So, $40 or under, we're basically going to go down to the $20 mark today. As well, I also wanted to keep in mind availability and ease of access to these figures. Obviously, I could have just put my top 5 favorite figures of all time on this list and called it a day, but some of those figures are next to impossible to find, and of course for somebody who's not, you know, super into this thing like me, or if you're a parent just trying to pick up a gift for your kid, of course, you're not going to want to go searching through eBay for this sort of thing. So we're going to be mainly sticking to Amazon today, but one thing to keep in mind is that besides the fact that I'll be providing Amazon links to everything that we talk about in the description below for you to go check out and click on, and of course buy the product yourself if you'd like, you can also go and look out in the vast internet. You know, Target has these kind of things, GameStop has these kind of things, and you can look around a little bit to see if you could also find the figure that you're looking for there too. And of course, the last thing that I wanted to keep in mind was a wide age range of things to look at today for, you know, people at different ages to enjoy, right? With a statue, I don't think that I would give that to a little kid. However, an action figure, I may give that to a little kid, and maybe not so much my friend who's a collector of Dragon Ball things. So, hold it! Oh, and of course, the last thing that I wanted to focus on with this list was if I had actually gotten my hands on the figures on the list, or at least a figure in the same product line as the figures that I'm putting on the list, because then I can know the actual quality of the figure myself. I don't have to try and look up a bunch of reviews and decide just by looking at images and video on the internet if I can tell you if the product is good or not, if I have the product in my hands, or at least obviously a product of the same line that will basically function the same as the product that I'm recommending. Then of course, you know, I am satisfied putting it on this list because I can say with full confidence that I have had my hands on it and I can give it the seal of approval. That is kind of everything that I wanted to keep in mind for today. We're going to go down the list in terms of price. We're going to start at the most expensive first, and then we are going to work our way down to the cheapest items. So let's get started. To start us off today, we're going to talk about the Figurize model kits, specifically the Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku and the Final Form Frieza. If I can get my man to stand up here, I need to use his tail as support a little bit. There we go. Perfect. These 2 figures are fantastic Christmas gifts to give to any Dragon Ball fan. Not only are they really cool figures in general, right, and they're just kind of fun to play with, as these are model kits, they of course have to be built from the ground up. So if you are somebody who doesn't want to build a figure, don't worry, the rest of this list will not entail any building. But if you are somebody who likes model kits or likes Legos, these would actually be perfect for somebody like that because the building process is half the fun. I have built a bunch of these myself. Funny enough, I actually got this Frieza secondhand a while ago, but the Goku, I actually built this guy myself with my own 2 working hands, and man, building it is just so much fun. It definitely reminds me of when I was a kid playing with Legos a ton. One thing to keep in mind is that the model kit plastic is a little bit more delicate than Legos, which kind of results in the figure being a little bit more delicate than that type of thing too. It is a little bit lighter plastic, but that is because it's the model kit material that they typically use, which also makes the figure a little bit lighter than normal. So I will say, as long as your kid is careful, right, with this sort of thing, it'll be fine. Just make sure that they're not, you know, banging it against the ground or nothing like that. Obviously, if your kid takes care of their stuff, then of course this should be fine. And With these as well, the packaging is also super sick. I have the box for Goku right here, actually. As you can see, the box art for this guy is actually really cool. So even if you wanted to put the box on the shelf or something like that, that would honestly not even be that bad of an idea, just as a little display piece, or even like a replacement for a poster or something like that. These guys are around the $40 to $35 mark, with Goku and Frieza specifically being some of the cheaper ones that I have seen. These guys do go for a little bit more. The thing is with a lot of these Dragon Ball figures is that they release at the MSRP, and then a lot of the times they go up over time, and sometimes with Amazon even they raise the price a little bit. But Goku and Frieza are around that range, and I think that they are definitely a good price for both of them. I would easily pay the Amazon price for both of these guys again. Oh, and the other quick thing that I wanted to mention about these figures as well is that they do come with some very fun effect pieces, which is really cool. It's not just the figure inside that you're getting. Sometimes you're getting these Ki Blast, sometimes you're getting these little Kamehameha effects, all kinds of cool stuff. Sometimes they even come with a stand. Obviously, if you just read into the product description, you'll be able to see what each figure comes with. But it's nice because it's not just the figure in the box. You're obviously getting these extra parts and extra parts for the figure. You're getting different face pieces, different heads sometimes, different hands. So it's all around a very good time. Next up, we have the Dragon Ball Super Superhero SH Figuarts figures, as well as a couple of extra SH Figuarts figures in the same price range, and of course, that price range being the $35 to $37 mark range. Now, these SH Figuarts figures are from the brand new Dragon Ball Superhero movie. We have a Goku from the movie, we have a Vegeta from the movie, and of course, as you saw moments ago, we have the boy Gohan and Piccolo from the movie. Obviously, if you have seen the movie, these are perfect figures for that because, of course, they are supposed to be the movie style, and I think they do a very good job of capturing that. Or, if you just like Dragon Ball in general, these will work perfect because they're just fantastic Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, and Gohan figures, right? As well, with this little section here, we have the Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, which is basically just another version of the base form Goku. This one is supposed to be more Dragon Ball Z-esque rather than the new movie in terms of the style of the figure. This one is a little bit older than the brand new base form Goku, but it's basically just a different version and sort of a different style of that new figure. That new figure is supposed to, again, just be more similar to the movie. And as well, another one in this range is the Final Form Frieza. This was a re-release of the original one, and they actually priced him very, very appropriately. I do not have this guy on hand, but again, since I own these SH Figuarts figures, I can tell you that they are of very good quality, and I can definitely recommend all of these figures. I will tell you, I don't know if I would necessarily give these to a little kid, only because these are definitely more collector's items rather than specifically toys, right? We will get to some more action figures that kind of fit that bill a little bit later in this video. However, these are definitely more for collectors. Again, they are $35 a piece around. So of course, you don't want to be giving your kid a $35 action figure necessarily, right? When it comes to this sort of thing. They all have really good articulation. Obviously, they are meant to be these superposable figures with all the newest, latest, and greatest figure technology in them. If your kid really takes care of their stuff, I think it would be fine, but this is definitely a little bit more for the older crowd, I think. I would certainly be happy to get one of these figures, though, especially Gohan. This figure is absolutely fantastic. I definitely really, really like these guys, absolutely. Coming up next, we have the fantastic Grandista Ultimate Gohan. This figure is a fantastic one for the Dragon Ball collector in your life, or somebody who is a big fan of Dragon Ball who just wants one big figure to sort of have in their room or on their shelf or something like that. This is absolutely a figure that fits that bill perfectly. Coming in at $30. I think this figure is fantastically priced for the size. Interestingly enough, this figure line used to actually be around the $20 mark, but unfortunately as time has gone on, the company who makes these figures, Bandai, has raised the price. But I would still easily pay 30 bucks, and I'm pretty sure actually when I originally bought this figure, even though I had mine on pre-order, I did actually get him for $30. So you know, perfectly priced, I would say. Not only does this figure look really, really nice, but obviously being a fan favorite character, Gohan, anybody who likes Dragon Ball would absolutely love this one. And of course, with the Dragon Ball Superhero movie, everybody is hyped out of their mind for Gohan as he is the main character of the movie. So this is also a nice figure to get in terms of the movie. Again, with how big this figure is, this guy being about a foot tall, he is definitely a figure that would have some presence on your shelf. And I'm sure that you can tell for this one, this one's definitely not for the younger crowd. This one is definitely for a little bit older because, of course, you know, it's a statue, right? It's not necessarily meant to be played with. This one is definitely more of a collector's item, but something that I highly recommend because it's honestly one of my favorite figures in my collection. A lot of people were really looking forward to this figure when it came out, and I am sure that anybody would be very happy to get this as a Christmas gift. Coming up next, we have some figures from the GX Materia line. This is one of my personal favorite figure lines of all time. Specifically today, we have, I gotta be very careful not to bump their effect parts. We have the GX Materia Goku. We have the GX Materia Gohan. And I'm going to bring out the boy GX Materia Yamcha as well. These figures are really cool because not only are they a decent size, but they are also a decent price. All of these figures range around the $25 to $30 mark. I think Yamcha even on sale goes down to $20 sometimes, which is really cool to see. But not only are these figures fantastically sculpted, they all look so much like their anime counterpart in the way that they look like they're basically just ripped right out of the show. Obviously, all of them have these really cool effect pieces to them. Of course, with Goku and Gohan, we have them both launching the Kamehameha. With Yamcha himself, we have him doing the Wolfang Fist. And another figure that I would recommend from this line that I don't actually have in my possession is the GX Materia Kid Goku. With that one, the little effect piece is a little great ape head that you can put on the base, which is pretty cool. But that figure is also sculpted fantastically, if I do say so myself. So if you're looking for some Dragon Ball specific figures, that's definitely a good one. And of course, Yamcha himself in this list is also a decent choice for that. But these are very reasonably priced figures, especially for the quality of the figure that you're getting, as well as, of course, you get all these really cool effect pieces with it, right? All of the figures in this line are definitely very great. I would actually say the same thing with the Grandista line that we talked about in the last figure, but with those figures, at least on Amazon, a lot of them are kind of overpriced. I would definitely only pay around like $20 to $30 for these figures for sure. That is the price that you should be paying for these guys. So these figures specifically, including Kid Goku, are definitely very good choices for that. Again, this is probably another one that I wouldn't necessarily give to a little kid, especially with Goku and Gohan. You actually do have to build these a little bit. It's nothing too crazy, definitely not like the model kits from the first figure that we took a look at, but you do have to take these little pieces off of the runners, just like it is on the model kit, funny enough, and basically just stick them into the little ball that's already glued to their hand, right? So there is a little bit of building involved, and obviously these are definitely things that you would stick on a shelf. So of course you're not really going to be playing with these figures necessarily, right? One other thing that I do want to mention is do be careful when you're actually putting the effect pieces into the little ball in their hand. With my Gohan, you'll probably actually notice that in the pictures, he has 4 little beams coming off of the ball, and mine only has 3. I have all of the pieces handy. It's just for the fact that I accidentally forced the little beams in a little bit too far, and I actually cracked the ball, so it doesn't actually hold all 4 pieces, because like when you put one piece in, then it kind of makes the other side expand a little bit so it can't hold it properly. So when you're putting it in there, just be careful. I am pretty sure that it's only on my copy of Gohan that this was really an issue, because you know sometimes products do get defects, and obviously if that happens you can always just return it to Amazon. Amazon has a fantastic return policy. I've used it many times. So regardless though, even with that, I would still highly recommend this figure, and I mean even if that happens to you, a little bit of super glue fix that right up. Regardless though, I think these are a fantastic pick for any Dragon Ball fan. And finally, we come to our last figure of today's video. We're talking about the Dragon Stars line. That's right. The Dragon Stars line is an incredibly reasonably priced figure line, coming in at around $20 for each individual figure. If any figures are over $20, that's because either they're being uppriced by a company that is not selling the figure through Amazon directly, or sometimes you have figures in this line that come with different effect pieces and whatnot, right? Like different power-up poses, different beam effects, stuff like that. Or if you see ones that are really expensive, chances are that's a double pack. Like I know there are some $40 double packs that come with two figures, but again, the usual price of these individual figures is 20 bucks, so obviously it makes sense for the double pack to be 40. But these figures are reasonably priced, absolutely, and I would say these are really more on the side of traditional action figures. These are absolutely the pick that if I had a little kid, I would 100% pick these to give them. Not only, like I said, is it cheap, so if it gets broken, it's not as big of a deal as replacing the $40 model kit that we talked about in the beginning of this video, but they're also built a little bit more durably, and they're definitely not that same sort of quality in terms of being as like anime accurate as the SH Figuarts figures are. Obviously these are both posable figures, but those again are more kind of a collector's item where these are action figures. And of course, if you're a little kid, you're not gonna care how accurate it looks to the show, right? You're gonna be like, whoa, look at this cool Goku figure, this is awesome. You know, if I was a little kid and I had these, I would have absolutely gone crazy because these are super cool, right? And I definitely like these a lot. I personally only have this Janemba figure here because again, since these are definitely less on the collector side and I am more of a collector, I'm not crazy about these. However, I do like this Janemba figure. I think he is pretty good quality, and not to mention, funny enough, he actually I think looks pretty much a one-to-one like how he does in the anime, which is pretty nice. But I would highly recommend these to any kid, or even if you're just a fan of Dragon Ball, even if you're a collector, these are still definitely a decent gift to give to your friend. And I will say, even though unfortunately they aren't going to be available before Christmas time, if you would like to get them later down the line, they actually are making some superhero figures for Dragon Stars, which is pretty cool. I know you can pre-order Goku, Piccolo, and Gamma 1 on Amazon right now, which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, those ones won't be available for Christmas time, but obviously the rest of the figures on the Amazon store are right down there. I'll leave a link for this one to the entirety of the page of all the Dragon Stars figures, but I'll also leave you some ones that I recommend in the links below, because I've definitely seen these in the store, and like every time I go to a Target or a GameStop or something like that, I pick these up and always take a look at them just so, you know, I can kind of get a wider range of all of the different Dragon Ball figures available. But that is going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I definitely hope you found some good options for a Dragon Ball lover in your life. I think all of these figures will make absolutely fantastic gifts for any Dragon Ball fan. I know if I was to receive any of these figures, I would absolutely go bonkers on Christmas Day. So thank you guys for watching. Of course, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We talk about Dragon Ball figures a lot on this channel, so if you're into that sort of thing, definitely stick around. But regardless, let me know if you ended up picking up any of these figures in the description below. Obviously, with all of those links, I do get a little bit of an extra cut with no extra cost to you, so it helps support your boy. So obviously, if you enjoyed, thank you so much for your support in that regard. And if you did buy any of them, of course, let me know in the comment section which one you picked, or if you picked it for a friend, family member, maybe a kid, something like that. Definitely let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.